excited to come chat with you guys. I'm just going to give you a little bit about my story. And then I want to talk about networking and meeting new customers and different ways that you can do that, because I'm super passionate about it, because I know how important it is in your business to expand your network and constantly meet new people. Okay, so my name is Alexx Erickson. I have been with Scentsy for a little over 5 years. I joined in October of 2015. And I didn't really have a deep-rooted why when I joined. I didn't know what I wanted out of it. I was just looking for something outside of being a mom all the time. And I was a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom since I became a mom. And I was feeling a little burnt out on that, because kids are a lot, you guys. And my husband worked a lot. And at the time, he was going to night school to become an aircraft mechanic. And so I was really burnt out. I'm sorry if you hear my cat meowing. He just does this every single time I do a live. I'm just going to let him outside, because he's just going to keep doing this. Squirt. Go. It never fails. Every single time. He just starts as soon as I do that. Okay. Anywho, so I got my new consultant guide. It said have a launch party. So I did. And at my launch party, y'all, my friends and family loved Scentsy. They were giving me additional orders before I could even close out my first order, or before they even got their products in. And I don't really have a strong upline. I didn't have anyone oh, you're this close, try this, do this. And so I was really just reading my new consultant guide. I hopped on YouTube and I was watching people on YouTube. And I remember I was packaging up my orders, sitting right here on my busted laptop, with a newborn baby. And I remember watching, I think it was Christina Stainbrook, and she is her house was a hot mess and her kid was a hot mess, and she was training. And I was so inspired by that. And I remember thinking if she can do it, I can do it too. And I truly believe it was in that decision that I just decided I was going to go for it. No matter what, I was just going to go for it. And I never looked back, y'all. I haven't taken months off. I've never let an excuse stop me from working my business. I have been consistent from the moment I joined. And those on my team will tell you consistency is the secret. If you're wondering what the secret to success is, it is truly being consistent, not giving up, not giving in to excuses, and mostly holding yourself accountable for what you are and are not doing. And it's a huge pet peeve of mine, people who don't hold themselves accountable. And I've learned this as an adult. I really think it's a very strong quality to have, to be able to hold yourself accountable for what you are or are not doing. And so I think being a business owner, you really have to hone in on that and hold yourself responsible for that. And that is one thing that I did do. And I can say for sure is a huge part of why I'm successful in my business. Okay. So, so that's kind of how my business started. I didn't blow up. I didn't recruit 12 people in 1 month and promote to director 3 months in or anything crazy like that. Every month was a little better than the month before. And my business grew pretty organically. I knew that parties were important, so I did parties. And I remember sitting about 6 months into my business, flipping through at the time how I did my follow-up system. And I remember thinking I didn't know this person before Scentsy. I didn't know this person before Scentsy. I didn't know this person before Scentsy. And I remember being so proud of myself. I was so proud that I got to a point in my business where it's not just my circle of friends and family. And I think that's very important, because that's kind of where the magic starts happening, is when you're not relying on your sister, your aunt, your mom, your cousin, your best friend to buy Scentsy month after month after month. Because when you first join, they do. A lot of the times they are wanting to support you. They're falling in love. They're buying Scentsy, and you're yeah, this is awesome. And then oftentimes, maybe if you have a team, you recognize this. Maybe you've gone through it yourself. But at that 3-4 month mark, you kind of hit a plateau, because you're oh crap, they're not buying Scentsy like they were. And it comes to a point where you have to meet new customers. You have to grow outside your network. And you guys, you're only one person away from a completely different business. And as Beth mentioned, Brianna, she's a superstar director. I have a superstar director under me, you guys. I recruited Brianna, and we met through Instagram. We weren't best friends growing up or anything like that. we met through Instagram. She saw me working my business on Instagram, and our relationship blossomed. And now we've gone on vacations. Our husbands are great friends. Like our kids, like FaceTime each other. Like we have created a really beautiful relationship, but it would have never happened had I not been consistent, had I not worked my business, right? Like she would have joined under someone else or for a different company or not at all, right? So you're only one person away from your business looking completely different than it does now. And you just never know when that's going to happen. And so it's really important every single month, every single week that you try to bring new people into your network. And there's so many different ways to do that. And so I'm going to share some ways that I personally do that because I feel like I do a really good job at meeting new people, right? Regardless if I meet them in person or not. Like social media is huge. And especially with COVID, like that's really what we're doing right now, is spending a lot of time on social media. And so I'm going to show you or tell you some different ways that I do network my business, but I want you guys to understand that it's kind of a revolving cycle with growing your network. Okay. So like you meet someone and like with a sample, right? And then you follow up and they order, and then you provide great customer service and they order again. And then you're building trust and they try washer whips or counter clean, and then they fall in love. And then they're like trying anything. They become like those VIP customers, you know, and then they host or they join, and then it's like you have to restart, right? So you having a month where you go meet 12, 15, 20 new people in your network is amazing. And over the course of the next year or so, you're really going to see that cycle evolve where maybe not all 12 of them are going to become your VIP customers, but maybe 3 or 4 of them will. And they're going to be ordering a lot and trying new products. And then they're going to host, and then they're going to join. That's the predictable part of this business, is if you can get a customer to become a VIP customer, like you know the next steps for them, right? But then that also means you're losing a VIP customer, right? And so that's why it's so important to constantly be pulling people into your business and restarting that cycle. And that's something that I actually learned about 2 years ago when my business kind of grew, like blew up a little bit. I have cycles in my business as well where like sometimes things do just blow up and they're super exciting for about 6 months and then they kind of like level out. And so it was like in this time in 2018, I was doing Facebook parties like crazy, and my business like totally, like I had so much excitement in my business and new people, and people were liking and sharing and commenting and buying and hosting. And it was so awesome. But then over the course of 2019, I recruited almost all of those awesome customers that I gained. And I was like, dang, this is why you continuously build your network, because now I need more VIP customers who are obsessed and spend and trust me enough to purchase like this. And so it's just something that I've had to learn, much like every single thing in my business, how important it is to continuously network. And so I'm going to show you guys or tell you guys some of the different ways that I do that. And just like to speak on a little bit what I was talking about, Beth, that you heard this morning is, y'all, we have a shorter month this month, right? The Christmas cutoff is the 15th, but if we work so intentionally between now and the 15th, like we can move mountains in our business. We can't use placing an order this morning and it's a slow month to be like, okay, well, I'm done. I placed my order. I'm active. I have my minimum. Like, I'm good. No, because we have all month to do, or half of a month to do amazing things. And then we can rest a little bit. Then we can kind of sit back and enjoy the hard work that we put in this season. If you guys have been with us for 2020, you guys know like this has been an incredible season in Scentsy and for our businesses. And so it's going to be really nice to sit back and rest. And that doesn't mean ghost. That doesn't mean like you're not posting in your customer groups, you're not sharing Scentsy, but it does mean like you can rest, right? And so just know, like, all these tips that I'm giving you, like, you can take and implement today, okay? It doesn't have to be something where you're like, oh, that's a good idea, like maybe in the new year. Like, no, all of these are simple enough for you to literally take and run with, like, today, okay? Starting with intentional marketing, I think, is so important. No matter how you're marketing your business, being intentional is super important. If you have flyers on your phone camera roll, like, you know, flyers, like, pretty background with like 6 bars and it has a bunch of words on it, like delete them. Delete every single flyer you have on your phone. We don't need them. We don't need them. If you're trying to advertise a Christmas 6-pack, grab 6 bars, take a picture of it, and type whatever you're trying to say, okay? It's much more attractive. It's much more intentional. People will get to know how you type, know how you talk, know your style. When you are posting flyers, it is so spammy and salesy. Like, I know every single flyer I see, I just keep scrolling. They're annoying. They're not necessary. We have such a lifestyle brand, and we all use Scentsy. Scentsy fits in every single part of your life. And so we can just share what we're using, right? We can still get across whatever we're trying to get across from a graphic with our own content or content of real life pictures that we can find online, okay? There's no need. There's no need. The only time that I would ever say a flyer is okay is if you're printing it to put in an order. I don't think flyers should be posted on social media. I think they completely reverse whatever intentional work that you've been doing, because seeing real life pictures will go so much further, okay? And even further than that, like intentional marketing, having a lifestyle brand. When I train my new consultants, specifically if we're talking like VIP groups, I'm like, I run my VIP group like a lifestyle brand, so, or like a lifestyle blog. So you're going to see Scentsy and how I decorate and the things I'm loving and new products coming, and I showcase items, but you're also going to see a recipe or a funny meme or a story, or you know, me talking from the heart about what Scentsy has done or what the season has done, or thanking my customers, right? It's not just salesy, click here, buy now, $50, shop here. Like, no, we don't need to do that. But the thing about Scentsy is people are not necessarily buying the product, okay? They can go to Target and buy really pretty warmers, nice smelling wax, cleaning products, laundry products, right? They're not like, of course they love Scentsy, they love the fragrances, right? But they're not really buying the products. They're supporting you, and they are buying into how it makes you feel, right? So if you're talking about this fragrance flower, you love it so much, it makes you happy every time you walk by it. When you're washing your dishes, you get a whiff of vanilla bean buttercream. Like, that's what your customers want. They want that feeling, right? They want the feeling. They want to know that they're helping you. They want to know that they're a piece of that gratitude that you're giving, more than the product at all, okay? And so if you can just intentionally share from the heart, how does that make you feel? What does it smell like? You know, what are you getting from their support, right? Like, at least once a week, I like to do a post in my VIP group, like, thank you. Just thank you so much for supporting my business. Here are some pictures of my boys that you are helping me support. Like, thank you, right? That's what they want. They want to feel like they are a part of your journey. And so that's where intentionally sharing your journey is so important, because that's where people gravitate to. That's where people feel connected to you. It's not the warmer, okay? It's not the warmer. It's the connection and the trust that you build. And I always like to say, provide content. It doesn't have to be, it can be, but it doesn't have to be knowledge. You don't have to say like, a wax bar is, you know, blah, 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 oil and this much wax and blah, blah. Like, okay, that's great. If your content is valuable by knowledge, that's great. But you can be valuable by providing comedic relief, right? You can be valuable by providing that safe spot. You can be valuable by showing your customers you care. Provide value in some sort of way. People do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. And you can do that, just like Heather said, you can do that in your community. The community you build will really cultivate that trust and that foundation of your business that people will want to come back to and support, okay? And that's also where, like, don't take months off, okay? Don't even take weeks off, okay? If you have a lot going on, schedule your posts, still be intentional. Do not ghost your customers. Don't make people wonder if you're still selling Scentsy, okay? People want to be sure. And that's why a lot of times I feel like new consultants have a little bit of hard time getting that momentum going, because people are watching. People are seeing, what are they going to do? Are they going to fall off? Are they going to give up? Are they going to fizzle out? Because it happens. It happens, and people are watching, regardless if they're commenting, liking, whatever. People are watching your business. And so it's very important that you stay very intentional about the work that you're doing in your business, okay? And so some other ways that you can make sure that you're growing your network and keeping your network is providing opportunities. And I like to say like in social groups, right? So like I'm part of my community's mom groups and business groups, and like y'all probably have them, like your city chatter. Like I'm from a city called the Colony, so there's a group called the Colony Chatter, the Colony Mom Group. There's neighboring cities and their mom groups, and I'm in there, okay? And what you can do is not just post about Scentsy, right? You could say like, I have defrosted chicken, like what is your go-to chicken recipe, right? And like build connections, get your name out there, get people seeing you, right? Or what you can do is make up a bunch of sample packs, grab a catalog, some samples, maybe a piece of candy, put it in a cellophane wrapper with some confetti or something, and post a picture of it and say, I have 10 sample packs. I'm going to say Frisco. It's a city next door. I'm going to Frisco this evening. Let me know if you want me to give you or drop it off on your porch, right? And then people love Scentsy, y'all. So then they're like, oh, I love Scentsy. I'd love one. I'd love one. I'd love one. I'd love one. Okay, well, now you have 7 new people that you are quite literally dropping something off at their porch. You have their information in your inbox, right? You can message them, pull them into your VIP group, follow up on the samples that you're giving them. And you guys, you've quite possibly found your next recruit, found your next VIP customer. At least they're in your VIP group, seeing you living your Scentsy life, seeing you share that share that lifestyle that you live, right? And so that's one way that, especially for new consultants as they join, I give them that option or that suggestion, like find some local groups or start with the local groups you're in, and don't just bombard them with Scentsy. Like maybe be active, make a post or two, comment on a few posts, interact with them, but also like post your sample packs, especially with the stuff you get in your starter kit. Like post that and share that, and then see what you can get from it. Even if you're dropping off 1 or 2, like that's still a win, right? As long as you're intentional and you're following up and you're inviting them to your VIP group and you're checking in on how those samples work. That's a really great way to get new eyes on your business and build your network, okay? Same with like the Nextdoor app, I think that's what it's called, or the neighborhood app. Whatever app that comes with the Ring camera, that's another great way. You could post on there about free Scentsy samples or your sample packs or whatever, right? And so I think that's a really awesome way to grow your network. Referrals are huge. And of course it takes that like trust. They have to know you, like you, trust you to refer them, but you have to be intentional about that too, right? So say someone comes and picks up an order off your porch and you're like, yeah, your order's out there. Thanks so much. I threw some extra goodies in there for you. Make sure when you get it, you snap a picture and tag me. It means so much, right? Like tell them to do that, right? Like, of course you can make the cute stickers and you can write it in your thank you notes and all that's great. But like personally tell them, like, snap a picture and post it on your personal page. It means so much to my business. Just that alone, you don't even have to incentivize it. Just say, please do it. It means a lot. And when they post it, then their friend's like, oh, I love Luna. Is Luna still a scent? And then like your customer tags you and then you add them to your VIP group and now they're ordering Luna and you're telling your regular customer, like, thank you so much. Like that's exactly what, you know, we do that for and I appreciate it, right? People love to be thanked and to feel like they are part of your success or that you are grateful for them because they have given you a slice of something else, okay? They love to feel like that, okay? So that's where I think it's important to take them along with you in your Scentsy journey. Don't just make it about the sales. Make sure you're sharing about everything. And referrals are huge. You guys hopefully know, like referrals are the best compliment you could ever get. If someone loves the way that you are doing your business enough to share it with other people, you should be so proud of yourself because that's a huge deal. And referrals speak louder than anything else, okay? So as you are working intentionally, be sure that you're asking for those referrals because people do love Scentsy, okay? And most of the time, people have bought Scentsy in the past, but they didn't have an intentional consultant keeping up with them and following up. And so they kind of fell off, right? People will always default to convenience. And so if we're not making it convenient for our customers to shop, to reorder, to try new products, if we're not making it convenient, then they will buy a candle. They will buy a wax bar at the store, okay? We have to make sure that we are making it convenient, okay? So that also, I just have to talk about Instagram. I don't know. Do you guys use Instagram stories? I am freaking huge on Instagram stories. And let me tell you, so like I didn't just like pick up Instagram and start doing Instagram stories. I've literally been on Instagram since Instagram was a thing back in 2011. Okay. I literally feel like I was like one of the first people on Instagram. And so I've always been on Instagram. Okay. And then so when Instagram started their stories, like I think it was like 4 years ago, I started using them here and there. I was never consistent. I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, it expires. It's kind of like Snapchat. Like, that's so weird. Whatever. Right. And then in the last like 2 years, it has really blown up. Okay. Instagram has totally grown. It's a great platform. I don't necessarily post a lot of pictures on my feed. I should. I need to get better at it. I need to get better at posting on my business page. There's always things we need to improve on. Okay. But I will tell you, Instagram stories has grown my business beyond what I could have ever thought it could. Okay. I started using Instagram stories very consistently about 2 years ago, like every day, like throughout the day. Follow me on there. My @ name is Wickless with Alexx, ALEXX, 2 X's, all one word. I share my everyday life and I share Scentsy in it. And I feel like I do a very good job, right? It's very much like 70-30, 70% my life, 30% Scentsy. Some days it's, you know, on and off, whatever. But Instagram stories is amazing because it's interactive. You get people who are not on Facebook as much. Like some people have preferences, Facebook or Instagram. And I have a lot of friends who prefer Instagram. And so I had people, especially when COVID hit, like February through July and August, I can't even explain how much my business grew solely from Instagram stories, right? Walking my fun mail out and setting it down for the postman to pick up every single day, offering to send out samples, telling people to tag me in their stories, sharing new stuff. Like people were eating it up for like a solid 6 months. Like my business grew so much from people who have never ordered from me before, never talked to me about Scentsy before, I had no idea that they even like followed me and watched my stuff, honestly. Like people came out of the woodworks and they're not strangers. They're people I've been following forever, people from high school, people from college, people from everywhere I've lived. Okay. But I wasn't keeping up with them. We were friends on Instagram and they were watching my stories. And all of a sudden they're messaging me and they're ordering and they're joining and they're getting party referrals. And it was crazy. It was totally crazy. And, it's slowed down a little bit since then, but I still get very consistent views and interaction and messages. And what I love about Instagram stories, I link them to my Facebook. So they are also on my Facebook. What I love about it is one, you can see who's watching them, right? So you can see like who's watching my stories every single day. I don't pay too much attention to this. I'm not like obsessive over it, but it is cool to see. Two, if they message you or if they're interested and they message you, it goes straight to your inbox. Okay. So it goes from them watching your stories to you're having a conversation with them. You're sealing the deal. You're talking, you're having a personal conversation. And if Beth trains you guys, how I train my team is that we don't have to cold message people. Like if you haven't talked to your high school friend in 4 years, like you don't have to message them about Scentsy. Okay. You can be consistent and be intentional about what you're sharing. And if they're interested, they will come to you. And that's what I have found so much with Instagram is that people were coming to me. And when they come to me, it's right in my inbox. I can start building that relationship right then. And then from there, I can offer to send samples and then follow up on that sample and then add them to my VIP group and, you know, things like that. You can build the relationship. But Instagram stories, especially if you already have an Instagram and you're familiar with it, I would really encourage you to spend some time like really diving into it and trying it. Like just try it for 3 months to be consistent. I'm not saying you have to spend all day, every day on Instagram stories, but like if you turn your warmer on every single day, like put an Instagram story of you turning on your warmer. Okay. If you use Scentsy Fresh every day, like do an Instagram story of spraying your bed every day. Okay. Repetitive things are what catch people because I don't know if you guys have ever heard about like how marketing works, but it's like the first time you see something, it works. It's the same for commercials and computer ads and Instagram stories. The first time you see it, you don't really pay attention. Second and third time, you think it's annoying, right? You're like, oh my God, there she is again, spraying her bed. The fourth time, you're like, dang, she like is really spraying her bed every day. Oh, there she is again. Oh, she changed her scent. Oh, there she is again. Dang, do I need this? Like it literally takes like 12 to 20 times for people to see something for them to be like, I need that, right? And so that's why commercials work. The first time you don't even notice it, but by the end of it, you still remember a jingle from a commercial you heard when you were a kid, okay? So it's because it's repetitive. And so I tell my team the same thing. Just because you posted about your favorite warmer last week doesn't mean you can't post about it again this week. Just because you spray your bed every day doesn't mean you can't share it in your stories every day. That's what gets people thinking like, oh, I need that, right? That's what's intentional. You have to be intentional about the way that you're sharing your business and understanding how marketing works and how attractive marketing works and sharing a lifestyle. It makes it easier to be more intentional because when you know better, you can do better. And so just keep that in mind. Like as you're doing the same thing every day, as you're loving wiping down your counters with your counter clean, just share it intentionally, share it consistently, because that's what gets people really thinking that they need it. Okay. Other than Instagram stories, because they are really my jam, I have to talk about parties. It's a weird season for parties, right? With COVID and like people smelling testers, people getting together. I get it. I really do. I'm over it, but I get it. And so I've been doing Facebook parties a little more often lately. I know there's 1,000,001 ways to do Facebook parties, so I'm not really going to like explain how to do a Facebook party, you guys, but I don't love Facebook parties. I think that they are very time consuming and they can be hit or miss. I'm just going to be honest. Okay. Not my favorite thing to do. However, I will say in 2016, when I was about a year into my business, I wasn't doing Facebook parties when I first joined. I was intimidated, but the following fall, I was super inspired by superstar director Patricia Morrow. Her and I are really good friends, and she was rocking out at Facebook parties. And so I just kind of watched her and learned and started doing Facebook parties. And y'all, my business grew so much. Maybe my PRV wasn't high for every single Facebook party, but I met new people and I pulled them into my VIP group. Okay. And they were seeing things after. One of the main things that I have two goals with my Facebook parties now, and one of them is to get them into my VIP group. I don't care if you buy or not. I literally post about my VIP group 4 different times in my Facebook party, okay? Like 2 times as we're closing the party, 1 time a week after the party ends, like, have you gotten your goodies? Make sure you join. And then a month later saying, hey, I love to spoil my customers. Make sure you're in my customer group. Huge goal to get people in my VIP group because you just never know what's going to blossom, okay? The other goal I have during my Facebook parties, yes, Beth, I will. The other thing I do in my Facebook parties is I offer to send out samples. And this whole concept has been floating around. I think Christina Steinbrook is the first one that did it, and she sends party packs, okay? In her video that she has on YouTube, she's sending like a whole freaking party pack, like a whole package, right? She's spending like $3. She's sending 10 of these out. I do not do that, okay? Like, my paychecks have grown, but I'm not wasting my money on that because I don't even know if they're going to order, okay? But what I will do is I will send them an envelope, the business size envelope, scent of the month, another felt sample, a little brochure saying, welcome to the party, and I send them that. But the real magic happens is having them fill out the Google form to get the sample pack. Okay, so I always tell my hostesses, if you can just get them to fill out the sample pack, I've got the rest. I no longer put the success of my Facebook party on the hostess and hostess coaching because it just doesn't work always. Okay, if I can get my host to get her friends to fill out my sample pack, which has their name, their address, their email address, their phone number. On a scale of 10, how interested or how familiar are you with Scentsy? On a scale of 10, how interested are you in earning your own free and half off Scentsy? On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in making some extra cash with Scentsy, right? And I can gauge where they are on that. I can send them a text that said, hey, Susan, I got your party pack, I got your party pack for Ashley's party out in the mail. Here's her link. Her party closes on Monday. Let me know if you need anything. Babe, will you let Ziggy in? Let me know if you need anything, right? I've got their contact information. I've texted them. I'm starting to build that relationship. I'm sending them something tangible in the mail, right? And then you better believe if they haven't ordered by the last day of the party, I'm sending them another text. Hey, Susan, Ashley's party ends today. Here's the link to her party. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need anything. Additionally, here's my VIP group on Facebook. Feel free to join. I'd love to stay in touch after, right? I love that, and it has been a game changer. Yes, it's an extra step, but if I'm going to go do a Facebook party, I'm going to take the extra step to get their contact information. And then that takes the hostess coaching off my host. I don't have to rely on my host to be sending messages in the background, calling them, texting them in the background. I'm the consultant. I'm doing that, okay? And that's been a game changer for me. It's also allowed me to book additional parties. Say they put 8 or 9 or 10 for wanting their own free and half off Scentsy. When I text them that I'm sending them their thing, I'm like, hey, I have an early booking special. If you'd like to book your party today, I'll give you a mini warmer when we close out your party, right? And I use that perpetual party reward when they close out their party to get their mini warmer. So I'm paying $10 for their mini warmer, but they're not even getting it unless their party qualifies, right? And I will willingly pay $10 tax write-off to get new customers, a successful party, potential hostesses, potential recruits, right? So let me just give you a rundown on how my Facebook parties look. And Beth, I'm going to be doing a mock Facebook party for my group next week, and I can, like, we can just do it together. I can like add you, I can invite you guys to it as well. But this is how I do it. I run it from Sunday to Monday, so 8 days total, okay? And the reason I start it on a Sunday is because that's the day I post about the samples. And I like to get that filled out so I can send them on Monday. And then I have a whole week. They probably get their sample because it's snail mail. Let's say they get it Thursday or Friday, okay? And then they have the weekend to go through it, and then I follow up with them. And I close the party Monday. If I extend the party Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm not posting in the group. Like literally I'm posting Sunday to the following Monday, and that's it. If we extend the party, then at that point it's on the host. Like you go message your people. Like here's your link. Your party has all the information. You go message your people. But ideally Sunday to the following Monday. And on Sunday, I do like an introduction post, like, hey, I'm Alex. I'm your Scentsy girl. Here's my story, whatever. I do like 3 posts on Sunday. The second post is like, it's a picture of me holding up a envelope, and it's like, hey, can I send you a sample? I'd love to share with you some of our monthly specials. Like fill out this link in the, fill out this quick link, and I'll have your sample sent out. Okay, so that's the second post. Usually I do it fairly early, like noon on Sunday. So that way they have all day Sunday. And that's the post that I have the hostess tag their people in, okay? And then like Sunday night, I'm like, our party starts tomorrow. I'm so excited. Let's do a roll call. How do you know the host? What's your favorite scent? Whatever, right? And then on Monday, it's like, hey, awesome. And on Monday, I start with a monthly promotion. So it'll be like spin and bring back my buddy and bricks and at this point, the scent of the month and the child buddy, right? I spend, all day showcasing that. That's like 5 different posts, right? And then maybe that night I'll talk about wax and warmers. And then on Tuesday, I'm like diffusers, oils, fragrance flowers, wall fans, right? I'm showcasing products. Okay. I probably post 5 to 6 times a day showcasing products. I do about 3 to 4 interactive posts. One of them is the day I'm talking about pets. I have them drop pictures of their pets. One of the days is a booking thing. Like it's like 3 different gift bags numbered 1, 2, 3, like pick one. And then at that point I'll text them or message them. If I have their number, I'll text them because I prefer texting. I feel like it's much more professional. If I have their number, I prefer to text them. Otherwise I'll message them and I'm like, hey, you picked number 2. That's a free tub of washer whisk if you book a party with me today for December or January, right? So that's one of the interactive posts. And then the last interactive post is on the Saturday before the party closes. And it's like a questions thing. So it's like you get 1 point if your question is about products, you get 2 points if questions about hosting, you get 3 points if your question's about joining. And I say like, this post is open till Monday morning when the party closes. So I do 3 interactive posts to just get people commenting, boost the algorithm. I do this in a group, by the way, so I can schedule posts, or actually I use a program called Scentsy Share, CINCH share.com. I do this because I do multiple Facebook parties at a time, and this allows me to batch post the parties. So I set up one party and then I select all and I batch post it to my other groups. So it's going at the same time. I would say it's a great program if you commit and are intentional about doing Facebook parties. Okay. If you're only going to do one Facebook party a month, it's not worth it. But if you are like, for me, I like next week, I'm only doing 1 round of Facebook parties this month, but I'm doing 3 parties starting Sunday, going through the following Monday, the day before Christmas cutoff. Okay. I'm doing 3 parties at a time. So that's where Scentsy Share is very helpful for me, because I can stuff them all up at once. So they're literally all posting at the same time. And then every single day I try to check in with my hostess, right? So like usually in the mornings, I'm like, hey, like so-and-so ordered, or no orders yet. Maybe try posting a picture of your favorite Scentsy products. Maybe try posting on your personal page that you're having a party, blah, 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 suggestions, right? Now let's backtrack to the day that they're inviting their people. So they're inviting their people in on Sunday morning, right? And I tell them, and I do this very intentionally, like intentional is my word because it's so important, but I tell them, hey, your party group is ready to start inviting people. I have posts starting at 9:45 this morning, right? And I'm going to be offering to send them a sample around 12 o'clock. And I tell them, this is the most important part. Every single person that you invite to the party, you need to send them a message letting them know you're having a party. Don't just invite them in. Let them know. And I tell them this is the most important part. And if you can get them to fill out the sample, I've got the rest, but they need to do that. Okay. If I'm going to do all this work to set up their party, if I'm going to go send them samples, if I'm going to give them a free gift for every person that orders, because I do that, anyone that pays shipping, I'm going to send you a scent circle. Okay. But if I'm going to do all that, you can at least invite people in and message them to tell them. Okay. And you can tell who does and who doesn't message them, because if they don't message them, then you don't get interaction. But if they do message them, then you notice that you have high interaction. And I give them scripts. You guys, these people don't know. And these scripts, you guys, they don't sound robot-y, okay? And I tell them, like, change it up to sound like you, but you could say something like, hey, Susan, I'm having a Scentsy party with my consultant. She's really great. She's going to be sending out samples to everyone who's interested, and she even sends a free gift with every order. I really love their fragrance flowers. I invited you to the group, so you should see it on your Facebook, or something like that, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated, but I tell them what to say, and I tell them that it's the most important part, okay? And then when that post goes up about the samples at 12:45, if she doesn't already like tag them, then I'm messaging her like, hey, make sure you tag your people in that sample post so I can send your friends some samples. And once they get tagged, like the thing takes like a second to fill out. So they fill them out pretty quickly. I like to bulk everything. I bulk sample, I bulk mailings. So I have them already ready to go. Every one of them has a join flyer in there. I just use that scale of 1 to 10 to gauge what my communication is. Okay. So I'm not making special sample packs for each person based on their scale of 1 to 10 on joining or hosting. They all have a join packet or a join flyer in there, but at least when I'm texting them, I can see like, oh, this person put 7 for joining. And so I can mention it right then and there when I send them that text message, and I can follow up on that. And so, that's pretty much how I run my Facebook parties. They're not all successful, okay? I'm not a Facebook party queen. Like, I had like 6 Facebook parties last month, and 1 person joined, and she's already certified Sensational Start Level 1, so that's a huge win. 3 qualified and 2 flopped, okay? And 2 of the ones that qualified just barely qualified. But let me tell you, since I started doing my Facebook parties again, because I'll tell you, sometimes I get burnt out, and I took a break. And it's because I was overworking myself. That's where I'm all about like systems, and where Scentsy Share is super helpful for me, and doing them all at one time is super helpful for me. But when I started doing my Facebook parties again, like in August, you guys, I have new customers in my business right now who are obsessed, who are buying all my monthly boxes, who are tagging me on all their things, who are commenting on everything I post in my VIP group. I talk about washer whips and they're like, oh, I need to try those. I post about the holiday hearth, I get a PWS order. Like, that's where the whole cycle of customers comes into play, okay? And you better believe these people who are buying washer whips, buying buddies, buying the holiday hearth warmers, they will join at some point in that cycle, okay? But you have to be pulling people into that cycle to get it growing, okay? And so Facebook parties are awesome. Grab bags are cool. I always say don't count on grab bags. They're really awesome. It's a great way for your customers to smell Scentsy and share it. And when they're successful, they're amazing, but they're background. It's background PRV, okay? It's something you give your customer, you check in with them a few times, you give them suggestions, but you just don't know, okay? So they're great. I like to, I call it the unparty. I never let them know it's a party. I'm like, hey, let me know if you want to borrow my testers for a weekend so you can pick out some favorites. And then they're like, yeah, that'd be great. And then I drop it off and I'm like, awesome. If you want to share it with your friends and family or coworkers, any orders you get, I'll give you some free Scentsy. They're like, okay, cool, right? Like, they don't even know what I just did, right? I just totally snuck in the party. And so that's been super helpful for me. Even if they give me one order and it's $50, like, okay, here's a car bar, thank you, you know? But if they're giving me $200, like, okay, even better. Now you get $20 free and 2 half off credits. So thank you, right? So grab bags are awesome, whether you do them formally or informally. I think they're great. In-person parties are amazing. Honestly, I wish it was a season where I could just go in and talk about in-person parties, because truly, that's where I built my business the most. That's where I have the most fun. That's the most successful. If you think about it, you go spend 3 hours with the host on a Saturday and you get 800 PRV, 3 new parties, new friends, and someone wants to join. In-home parties are by far, in my opinion, the best way to build your business. But times are changing, y'all. They really are. Even what they were a year ago when I was doing home parties, things are so much different now. But I'll tell you, I cannot wait for my first home party, because things just sell so much easier in person. They really do. Events are great. Also, another thing I did that was wildly successful, and I need to do it more often, and I talked about it a little bit on my team page this morning, is personal parties, right? And so how I did that was, for Small Business Saturday, I put stuff on my kitchen island. I did 2 mini warmers, 6 bars, 3 fragrance flowers, a 6-pack of scent circles, Scentsy soak, a buddy clip, 2 hand soaps, and a hand cream. That was $201. Okay. And so on my Instagram stories, I'm like, I just wanted to give you an idea of what a Scentsy Christmas looks like. This is 16 to 18 gifts, and it's $200. In addition to this, you're also going to get $20 to spend on yourself, plus 2 half off credits that you can get more products for gifts, or you can get stuff for your own home, for yourself, right? And doing that, I got 2 people on Saturday alone to do personal parties. So right there was 400 PRV. They were both local to me, so then I just added some additional orders onto it. So it was a $500 party. So then I got some free shipping. I bumped up the rewards, so I was able to redeem some rewards and a half off credit. And I had 500 PRV to enter on the 1st this morning when I woke up, right? And so it's a really great way to get high PRV and also make your customer feel super awesome. And the really cool thing about that is it's in compliance. You're not doing anything out of compliance. You can totally advertise that, and it's a really good deal. And so then if they're taking advantage of it, what that also gives you the conversation is for them to join, right? You say well, I don't know if you'd be interested, but it's an option that you could join. I'll give you these sales. It's what is that? 20, 40, 60, 80, it's $80 in commission right there if you wanted to join, right? So neither of my people wanted to do that. They're not interested in that yet. But I was able to get some awesome PRV, and they were really excited to get some deals. So that's another option for just building that trust and those relationships with your customers, because ultimately I think that's what's most important. We can get a one-time sale, but we don't want that. We want to wine and dine our customers and have them coming back. We want to be providing them with some sort of value. And to a lot of people, value means saving money. So that's what I think is really important too. And then Sorry if I'm like talking so long. I need to read these comments too. One other thing that is super important that I do is I have a running list of 100. So we all know the list of 100, right? You're sitting down and you write down all the people that come to your mind, right? Friends, relatives, acquaintances, kids, friends, husbands, people, like whatever, right? That's your list of 100. But this is my running list of 100. So when I post, like, do y'all have local groups where it's like Marketing Tuesday, like post in the comments your business, right? So my local group has that. Every Tuesday I'm like, hey, and I post a real life picture, right? I put a real life picture with it. I'm like, hey, I'm your neighborhood Scentsy girl. I'm closing local orders weekly. Let me know if you'd like a sample, and feel free to join my VIP group here, right? Every single week I have new people joining my VIP group, and I write their name down in my running list of 100, and I put how I met them. I write it in there, right? Anyone where my customer posts something and tags me, and then one of her friends comments, and then I start a conversation with her friend, or her friend joins my VIP group, I write their name down, right? Any connection that I have, if I meet someone at a party and they order, right, I write their name down, because what this does is it allows me to be intentional about building those relationships with them, right? So maybe once a month, once every other month or so, I'm like, okay, I need to go look at my list. And it's like, okay, they're commenting on my stuff. I'm talking to them. Oh, I haven't even talked to them. I haven't even remembered this person. Let me go like a few of their pictures, watch their stories, see what they're up to. If they bought something, let me go check in on their product, what they're enjoying. Did I not follow up on a sample? Let me go follow up on a sample. This helps me be super intentional about the people I'm meeting, how I'm meeting them, and the relation. It ensures that I'm building relationships with them, because I don't want to, and I tell my team this all the time, like, don't let your customers fall through the cracks. Don't let them fall through the cracks, because they will always default to convenience. If they don't have a Scentsy consultant that has a spot in their heart, regardless if you barely know them or not, if you send them a mail and you're liking their pictures on Facebook and you're commenting with them in your VIP group, that's a relationship. That will prevent them from walking by the $1 wax bars at Walmart and snagging a wax bar, because they're going to be like, no, I love my Scentsy girl. Like, my Scentsy girl is so good at what she does. Like, no, she would kill me, right? That's what you want to create, is you want to create that sticky community, because then when they join, it's going to translate to the sticky team community too. And that's important. And that's always, I don't want to say it's always my end goal, because I need customers and I love my VIP customers, and I'm totally respectful if they don't want to join. However, the offer always stands, and you just never know. But I want to make sure that the culture that I cultivate for my customers also translates well to my team page and to my team. And I have worked really, 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 really hard on creating, and not just me, my team, Bree, we have worked really hard on creating a culture that is helpful, and we problem solve, and we're positive, and we're a community, right? It's not just about the sales. It's not just about the numbers. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Like, I think with Scentsy, that's so natural for it to be such an intimate community, but like, also know that there are groups that are toxic. There are teams that are toxic. There are communities that are not sticky, and there's drama, and there's problems, and they don't have help, and they don't have uplines. And I was in one. Like, my upline is not the community. It is not the culture that I want for the people that I introduce to Scentsy and the people that I train. And so I have worked very intentionally on building a community that translates really well from being a VIP customer into a teammate. And so I hope that, as you guys work your business, that you kind of do that too. Okay, I just want to read these comments because I feel like I just glazed over them. And then if you guys have any questions, like, let me know. I'll try my best to answer.
Yeah, so if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask it. Mine that I wanted you to answer, like when you're doing your Facebook parties, do you incorporate, like I, for example, incorporate, I pre-record myself showing the wall fan, the diffusers, wax and warmer demo, fragrance flower demo, and then I post those videos sporadically in my Facebook parties too.
Yeah. That's so good. No, because ScentShare does not allow you to post videos. And whenever I schedule videos in my parties, they don't load. They never post. It's like a real issue, actually. But on Tuesdays is my diffuser and like wall fan day. And so in the morning, I schedule a post like talking about the diffusers, and I'm like, I put in there like, stay tuned. I have a live demo coming later today. And then so on Tuesdays, I go live and I show diffusers and wall fans. And then on Tuesday, also, I do like a tip Tuesday. And so I just post about the cotton cleanups and changing your wax. So I do go live one time. It's super quick. It's when my son naps and my kids are at school, thankfully, because otherwise, like, I could never get anything done if I was relying on them to be quiet. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. But so yeah, I keep my live video like less than 5 minutes, and I do it on like Tuesday around noon or so. So that's what I do. Yeah. And honestly, the biggest game changer with my Facebook parties has really been that sample form that they fill out, because it allows me to just straight from the start building those relationships.
Yeah, getting that contact information is huge, and that's a really good tip. I'm going to start to do that.
Yes. So yeah, hopefully that gave you guys some ideas. I'm sure it's all stuff that you have all heard before, but I know that sometimes like hearing it from a different perspective or someone new like hits a different way. The main thing that I like can't stress enough is like consistency. It really, like, the number one reason that consultants are not successful is that they are not consistent and they quit or they give up. And like literally, like, and for new consultants, it's usually around that 4-month mark where they realize that they have to work to go find new customers, to go expand their network. They actually have to work, okay? And it fizzles out. And so like any piece of advice that I can give you guys, and if you guys are leaders, is to just stress consistency and like being the best consultant you can be. Don't be mediocre. Like, don't join and then be mediocre. Like, you're not going to get anywhere because no one's going to trust you. You have to build that trust. And the only way to do that is to be intentionally consistent, you know? Oh, Janelle, don't kill your dogs, even though I very well feel that. I very feel that in my soul.
Well, does anybody have any questions? I know we're at like our hour mark, and I don't want to keep Alex too long because your kids have been great though. We haven't heard a peep.
Yeah, they really have been. I'm very proud.
Your husband's doing a great job.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any questions, you should go ahead and ask. This is what I need. I need like a one-on-one Instagram training with you. That's what I need, because like
I have a YouTube video that I literally did,
like where you show how to make stories and everything.
Well,
like,
I don't show how to make them. That would be so cool. How do I do that from my phone? I don't know how to screen share on my phone.
Record.
Oh, I could totally do that. I give tons of tips though. I'm finding the link right now.
And everybody should follow Alexx on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll post.
I already did. Michaela did too.
Oh, come on. Where is it? Videos. Oh, here we go.
I texted it to my boyfriend and he goes, "What is this?" I was like, "I just need to remember this name."
Oh, I have a video on oh my gosh, I have a video on networking too. Okay, Instagram stories right here. How do I save it? Oh, there we go. Copy. There we go. Oh wait, I'll link it in the Facebook thing too.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
When this records, I'm not going to still have access to this chat though, am I?
What?
I don't have access to this chat.
No. I
don't think so. I think it's just a video.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think when I record the files, there's a separate file with the chat on there.
Oh, cool.
But it doesn't like record like with the video. I think it's just like a document with the chat on it. Yeah.
Well, if I need you to send it to me again, I might have you.
I posted it in the event thing.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Night training. So it's already in there. So yeah, if you guys need anything though, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You guys can message me on Instagram or Facebook. I don't like check it all day, every day, but I do check it eventually. So yeah, just like message me. I'd love to help. Or if like, whatever, we're friends. We're all doing Scentsy together. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. Like what you said, yeah, it's stuff I've kind of heard before, but you glaze it a little bit. And then when you hear it from somebody else, like I'm like, okay, I've heard about the sample packs, but you simplified it a little bit more for me. Cause I'm like, I'm not spending $3. And now you're like, no, I send them an envelope for a stamp.
Yeah.
And this is what I put in it.
Exactly. Because my thing is like, I send you a gift. I send you a package when you order. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm not going to send you a sample pack and then a pack when you order. No, I'm going to send you a small sample with one stamp. And then when you order, I'll send you that $3 package with your scent circle or whatever, right? Yeah. And I have my hostess tell them, like, she sends you a free gift when you order. So they already know.
I like that tip too. That's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Alex. And nobody else has any questions, right? I don't want to skip anybody.
Thanks for having me on, y'all. I really appreciate it.
Thank you all of you for coming. Like, this was probably my biggest Tuesday night, so I'm really
Woo-hoo! That's awesome.
I love seeing those who show up go up. We always say that, right?
That's right.
So thank you so much again. And yeah, I'll post the recording for your team.
I'll see y'all later. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
All right. Bye.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye.